Hello and welcome to Cracking the Cryptic. So today another viewer request. We're very happy to take requests for puzzles that you've got stuck on. You just like to see how to go about methodically. I'm not sure I'm including the person who sent us what's billed as the world's hardest Sudoku, which I think is frankly too hard for a human to do in a logical way, but maybe we'll have a look at it and see if there's something we can explain about it, but I don't think that's really the sort of thing we're after. So I'm having a look at puzzle 17416 from 4 days ago on Daily Killer Sudoku. Now, Daily Killer Sudoku's puzzles are quite good fun, and I quite like the fact that they provide the combinations. So if I click on that cell, you can see the combinations for this box are 9 and 7. In fact, the combination, it must be 9 and 7 in some order. 11, there's only one combination for, 1, 2, 3, 5. So these ones are 8, 6, 4. That one must be 8, because in 17 must be 8 and 9. Those have to be 6 and 4 there. And actually, this group of cells here, the other thing that this site does is adds up cages that you highlight together. So those ones add up to 57, plus that one must be 45, the total of any one box, plus those two. So if that was a 4, that would be 0, so that's not possible. So that must be a 6 there, and that makes that one a 2. So that's quite decent progress. This 18 is either 648 or 657. The 4 and 7 can't be in this row, so they would be here. The 5 or 8 there. This 11 can't be 2, 9, because they're already in the box. Can't be 4, 7 either, because they're both in that row, so that can't be 4 or 7. So that leaves 3, 8 and 5, 6 for that box. We don't know which one yet. Now, the symmetry here is rotational for once, not always on Daily Killer Sudoku, but it is here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there, although those two can't be a 4 because of that 4. This box obviously 9, 8, and in that order because of this 8. That makes these 3, 5, 6, 7. That one must be 1, 2, 3 to make up the 8. Look at these cells. They add up to 35, which is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 in some order. So the other ones in that box are 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got a 7 down here, so that's fixing that 7. Those two can't be a 5. In this 15 box, it must be either 6, 9 or 7 and 8. So the 9 or 8 must be up there because of that 9, 8, and the 7 or 6 down there. So there is a 5 in this group. Now, next, yes, there is a 5 in this group, and in this box, in this cage here, we don't know whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4, but either of those possibilities also have a 5 in. So that means that one of these 3 cells has to be a 5. So it would very much help if we could decide whether it was in the 23 cage or the 22 cage. If this was a 5, I'm just going to put this in for now. That would fix this box. That couldn't be a 5. That could no longer be a 3. In fact, there would have to be 6, 5 in that order. This would be 5, 1, 3, and that now adds up to 9. The rest of the 22 cage would have to add up to 13, which would mean it would have to be either 4, 9, can't be, there's a 4, 5, 8, can't be, there's a 5, or 6, 7, can't be, there's a 6. So that is not a 5. So we didn't, going back to where we were a moment ago, was like this, and we know that this isn't a 5, but one of these 3 cells must be, so the 5 is now down here in the 23. That's quite useful. Let's just eliminate the possibilities that don't have a 5 in. this 22 cage has to have a 1 under 6 in it because they can't be anywhere else in this row. So the 23 cage in the same box can't have 1 or 6 in, so we can eliminate those 3 as well. So it's either 2579 or 3578. And there's a 9 and an 8 in the bottom row already, so this cell, which is the only one not in the bottom row, must be either 9 or 8. That makes this one the 5. And let's just have a look at this box a bit further. Now we know it doesn't have a 5 in, so we can eliminate a few of them. We know it can't have 3 out of 2, 4, 7 and 9 because there's only room for 2 outside that row. Can't have 3 of 2, 4, 7 and 9, so it can't be that, or that. So we're down to one possibility. Very handy. So this one is made up of 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. And this one must be made up of 9, 5, 7, 2. And that gets us going there as well. So that's quite useful. And we're kind of making decent progress now on this box as well. 6, 5, 2, 9. That can't be the 5, 6 possibility anymore, so it must be 3, 8, and that eliminates the 8, 4 there. So we've got 1, 4, 6, the 1 is there, and 4, 6 there. So that's quite good progress. Now, there's an interesting combination of cages up the right-hand side. Those cages add up to 110. And the end 2 rows must add up to 90 because each row must add up to 45, having each of the numbers from 1 to 9 in it. So these 3 must add up to the 20 out of the 110, and that makes this one on top a 6, which again limits everything else that we've got. So that's quite handy. Now what else can we see in the equivalent position over this side? These add up to 105, take away the 90. That means these 3 add up to 15. And there's an interesting play up there as well, because here, all of the possibilities for this cage have an 8 in, and we've got an 8 down here. So the 8 in this box must be in these 3. Can't be here because of that 8, so there's an 8 up there. And we also know they add up to 15, can't be with 5, 2, so it's either with 1, 3, 4 or 6. And that might be quite useful. So now 8 is here or here, we know that, but we don't know which one. This 18 box is interesting. Now, it's got either a 5, 6 or a 7 in it, but more interestingly, we now know it can't have a 9 in it, because there's a 9 in that column and a 9 in that column. So we can eliminate the items with 9 in, that's quite a few of them for 18. So there's 3 possibilities here. Now, interestingly, 5, 6, 7 is one of the possibilities, and 5, 6, 7 are these 3 cells. So this cell can't be one of them, because they're all used up in this column. So 5, 6, 7 is not possible. So this now can't be a 5. It can only be 3, 7, 8 or 4, 6, 8. So it's 6 or 7 there, and 8 with 3 or 4 in those 2. And that's interesting from this point of view. 6 and 7 there, 6 and 7 there. Those 2 are fixed. One of those must be 6, 7. Both of them must be 6 and 7. And that means that these 3, that can't be a 6 for instance, these 3 all have to be under 6. They have to be some of the numbers from 1 to 5. And now in this 24 cage, sure, you can have 3 numbers under 6 in most of these, not that one, but then you have to have 2 numbers that are more than 5 as well in every possibility. So these must be 6, 7, 8 or 9. They must be more than 5. This one we know is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. And now look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells in this row that must all be more than 4. So this one can't be 6 or 8. And the only place left for an 8 is up here. So that's fixed that 8. Now, we know that these added up to 15. They can no longer be 8, 1, 6. They must be 8, 3, 4. What's this box up here? It's got an 8 in, so let's eliminate the ones that don't. And it's got either a 3 or a 4 in, and that takes out some others. It doesn't have both a 3 or a 4, both 3 and a 4, because there's one there, so it's not that one. So it's either 8, 3, 1, 9, which would be in that order, or 4, 8, 2, 7, which would be in that order. You can see we've already got 2 and 1 placed down there. So that's quite neat as well. Now, what else can we do here? One of these must be an 8, we know that. I don't quite know what else we do know. These three, we've got 8, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 in the columns. They're 1, 2, and 6 in some order. This one would have to be a 7, 6, or 2. Can't be a 6 because there's one below it already. So those are the only possibilities for that 12 box. And this 12 box got a 1, 2, or 6 here. It can't have an 8 in because these must have an 8, and they either have 3 or 4. So we can get the 8, get rid of the 8, then get rid of the one that has 3 and 4. Now, also, there's a 4 here, there's a 4 here, and one of these must be a 4. It's the only place in this box for a 4, and that's put a 4 in each of columns 3, 4, and 5. So this 12 doesn't have a 4 in. So there are now 3 possibilities: 7, 3, 2, 1, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 9. Now, if it was 7, 3, 2, this, I'm just going to try this out. This would have to be the 7. This would have to be the 2. This would have to be the 3. And that would fix this one, and this one, and this one. They would be 1, 3. So that would be a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this box here would have to be 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. Which would have to be in this order. Is that possible? 7, 3, 5, 9, 6, 2. That would fix that as a 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. That could be a 4. These would be 8, 4. 6, 9, 5, 6, 2. It's looking just possible at the moment. No, it's not. Look, there's a 6 here, so we can't have that 6 there. So that 7, 3, 2 was not possible. So we'll take out what we just did there. Restore it to where we were. 7, 3, 2, not possible. Let's try 9, 2, 1. The 9, there's a 9 there and there. The 9 would have to be in this column. That would have to be 1 or 2, and that's quite interesting because it makes a triple with those two. 1, 2, 3, so this would have to be the 7, that couldn't be the 6, this would have to be the 6, that would have to be the 2, that would be a 5, I shouldn't have left that 8, 9 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, still a few possibilities, but this can't be a 9 because of that, this can't be a 9 because of that, and this can't be a 9 because of that. The only possibility left is 6, 5, 3, 7, 8, which would kind of go in like that. That would be a 1, 2, 4, this would have to be the 6 here. These would have to be 4 and 2 in that order. 6, 5, 7, 4, 2, that would have to be the 8 because there's a 7 above it. That would have to be like that. This would be the So this looks possible at the moment. But it's not possible. We've got 1 3 there, and oh, we've actually put 2 3s in the same box. Okay, that was not possible. So let's restore where we were. We've ruled out another possibility there. That 7 8 3 5 6 wasn't possible. We didn't have any of that. So I mean, it's complicated. I'm not denying it. This puzzle is, in my view, extremely hard. As we're seeing, it's graded at 10 and it deserves at least that, but there's no grade over 10, so that's the most it can get. So we now know that isn't the 129, so it must be 156 by a process of elimination. I mean, everything we're doing here is elimination, but that's a kind of extreme form of the elimination. Now, here, this could be 1 or 3. 9, 5, 4, 6, 8, 2. It could be 7 as well. 1, 3, 7. So we know we've got a 2 in the 29 cage. So it's one of those possibilities. Where can the 9 go? Not here, here, or here. None of those columns must be there. And now, that's quite interesting. Never mind that that's 1, 3, 7. 2, 9... 5, 6, 7, well, those are 5, 6, 7, so that couldn't be one of those. 2, 9, 4, 6, 8, well, those are 4, 6, 8, so that couldn't be one of those. So now we know that this box is 2, 9, 8, 3, 7. We don't necessarily know the order, but that's what it is. That surely is going to be quite helpful. 2, 9, 3, 7, 8 there. Now we've got 1, 6 in this box already. So that has to be 1, 6. We've got 4, 5 here, so that has to be there. And that, look at this 3, 8 combination here. That puts 3 and 8 in this column. And that is interesting with this. We know that one of those is an 8. So that's not an 8. And they're not 3. That box must be 4, 8, 6. And now we can make progress finally in this box up here that we've left alone for quite a long time. One of these is a 5, and one of them is a 1 or a 2. So we've got 1, 6. Now let's have a look at this 12 box. We did quite well with the other one, but what can we do here? Can it be... There's various possibilities, but again, some are ruled out. We know that one of these cells is a 5. It's not 2. One of them's a 5, and there's a 5 in that column and that column, so none of these can have a 5 in. Same with 9s. There's 9s in all the columns already. Anything else like that? Not for certain. However, this has to have either be 1, 7 or 2, 6. So we can't have both of those sets represented, so this can't be 2, 3, 7. It also can't have an 8 in it because of that 8. So we're down to 2 possibilities, and they both involve 4. We're either looking at 6, 4, 2 in that order, or 1, 4, 7 in another order. 6, 4, 2, that could be 1, 4. That could be 4, 1. The 7 would have to be here if it was a 7. So now that's fixed a 2, 7 pair and a 1, 4, 6 pair in this row with an 8. We've only got 9, 5, 3 left to place. So that's fairly straightforward. 9, and in this box that must be the last 7. 7, 3. So that's 2, 9. So now this cage is 2, 9, 1, 6, 3, 5, must go with a 4 up here. And that takes the 4s out of that box. We know that this now is 5 or 7, could go with the 2, 3 or the 1, 3. No, 2, 3 or 1, 2. Okay, that didn't rule that out, but we've got the 4 fixed there. We've got the 1, 2 removed from that. So that fixes the 5, 4 there. And I hope we're kind of on the home stretch at this point. That must be the 6. That can't be 6 or 8. 6, 5, 3. What is this? 3, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. This must be. Okay. So that fixes everything up here. And that 7 has finally resolved this 8 cage. 2, 7, 8, 5, 3. That must be the 4. That can't be 2 or 3. So this is 6, 9. That puts the 5 here, and that's going to be useful in a moment, I believe. 4. That 5, yes, that fixes that. 5 and 3. They can't have a 3 in. 7, 2 is fixed down there. That fixes 2, 9. It's nice when these pairs kind of resolve each other one after the other. 6, 1, that can't be 1 or 8. That can't be 3 or 8. That's not 4, and that's not 8. Okay, and we've got this 8, 3 box fixed now. And now we've just got the central section to do. Probably there's something I can't see immediately. That can't be a 4. 1, 6, 1, 6, so that can't be the 1. And that's going to kind of repair everything in that section. 3, 5, 7, that can't be the 3. That can't be 3, and that can't be 7. Beautiful. So there we go. I think this surely is going to be the right answer. This puzzle is susceptible to logic, but it certainly takes quite a bit of doing to get there. Last cell. So thanks for watching. I hope that's been of some help, especially to Marco, who sent that in. Thank you for sending it in, Marco. I'm not saying that those stages, especially fixing the 5 down there, or exactly where the 8 went up here, and then these 12 cages, they weren't easy. And, I had to do a bit in a form by trial and error. And if you were very good at looking ahead like a chess player, you could maybe see what was coming. But it's probably easier to show you by filling in the cells and working out what's not possible. And that's the solution to a pretty tricky grade 10 killer. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.